Oh, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Hello, everybody. I am back after I think, 3-week hiatus. I managed to escape that room, which confined me for a couple of weeks, as well as the worst internet ever. My parents, I love you, but you really do need to fix that if you can. Here we all are, folks, at the vidIQ Tuesday channel audit live stream. What we do every single week is invite you into our home, our classroom, our forum, and we share our wisdom, our experiences, our expertise on how to perhaps improve your channel, get more views, get more subscribers, and hopefully take you to the next stage of your YouTube journey. And as always, I could not do this with an awesome collection of co-hosts, starting with the person now that I can only call L Jelly. Jeff, welcome back to the live stream. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well, man. I got to change my screen title there to L Jelly.
Yeah, we do, for people who are new to this live stream. This is Jeff, by the way. He is known as El Jefe, but one of our regular community members who goes by the name of an equally weird name, Jonk, decided to rechristen El Jefe a couple of weeks ago. And so we may be calling him El Jelly throughout this live stream. But people who have very much real names, proper names, and we welcome them here. And now it is Ben and Michaela back for, I think, either your third or fourth appearance on the vidIQ live stream. I'm trying to remember, but welcome back. How are you?
Thanks for having us. We're excited to be here. And yeah, it's looking forward to the stream today for sure.
We will introduce Ben and Michaela in a little more detail a little later on, but just to let you know, they are, I would describe them as a YouTube studio experts, I think is the best way to describe them. And you may have noticed in the bottom left-hand corner of their screen, they have joined the 100,000 subscriber club. Ben and Michaela, congratulations to you. Well done. Does it feel any different? Is YouTube now rewarding you more because you have 100,000 subscribers? Are you automatically rocketing up the algorithm, or is that just all a myth?
I think you still have to work just as hard, if not harder. The plaque's awesome, the achievement's awesome, but you still have to put in the work. So
yeah,
got it in one. Well, congratulations to you, and we'll find out a little bit more why you got 100,000 subscribers. But I think right now we need to say hello to some of our community here, and let's start off with Cryptic Jasmine, who are welcoming Ben and Michaela. We're also saying hello to Josh Quinones. Apologies if I pronounced that name incorrectly. Hello also to Healer Secrets, and I'm going to say a final hello to the ASMR gamer who's not sure whether to say hello. Hello? Hello. Jeff, who are you saying hello to?
Let's say hello to the UFO video addicts. They are right up my alley, so I am totally on board with that. Also, big shout out to a lot of the mods that are hanging out, Zinzarius and Viper, hanging out in here with us and taking care of business. Also, DeLeon. And who else do we have in here? Gavin Irvine. What's up, man?
And sorry, I always put our guests on the spot, not realizing whether or not they've got the chat up. But Ben and Michaela, if you do have a chat up and you want to say hello to some people, now is your opportunity.
Awesome. What's up, Ashley? Monkey Gamer, how's it going? Credit HD, thanks for hanging. DT Tech Twins, what's up? Thank you guys for hanging in the stream today.
Oh, you lined them up there perfectly, Ben. Thank you very much. All right, then. So let's get on to the meat and potatoes of this live stream, which is auditing your channels. As always, we will have lots of new people joining this live stream. Do let us know in a chat if you are a new member here, and we'll show you how all of this works in 60 seconds, like this. Welcome to the vidIQ channel audit live stream, where we review your YouTube channels. There are 2 links in the description, one for gaming channels, one for non-gaming channels. Make sure you submit every week as we clear the form after every live stream. Channel audits are 100% free, so please don't send us any super chats expecting to receive an audit. And don't waste your time asking for one in the chat. If there are any alternative ways to get picked for an audit, such as memes, we will let you know during the live stream. If we can't audit your channel today, vidIQ has a channel audit tool working 24/7 for you. If you haven't already installed vidIQ, download it now for free. A link is in the description, and make sure to take advantage of our free 30-day trial. If you submit your channel for audit, expect the following. We are sharing nothing more than our knowledge, our experience, and our passion as fellow YouTube creators. It's up to you whether or not you take our advice. There are tons of links to lots of useful resources in the video description. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already done so. Share this live stream with another fellow creator who may find it useful. And finally, moderators, thank you for everything that you do every single week. All right, let's do this. And the final bits of housekeeping include us continuing to support the COVID-19 Solidarity Response Fund. Any super chats will go directly to that cause. Thank you in advance. As always, we get hundreds of submissions every single week. Unfortunately, we can't audit every single channel. This is a community experience. So what we recommend you do is offer your advice in the chat, but also bring up your channel on a second screen if you're able to do so. And then as we're talking about all sorts of different channels, Ben, Michaela, Jeff and myself will be talking about many of the fundamentals which certainly apply to many channels. And with all of that being said, Ben, Michaela, Jeff, I think it's time to review some channels. Are we ready to do this?
Yes, let's do it.
All right then. So the first channel we are going to audit is, as always, the first channel that's submitted in our forms that you will find in the video description, and that is Egg Keg. All right, welcome Egg Keg to YouTube. You have 50 subscribers. You are relatively new to YouTube, but I'm seeing from the 3 videos that you published that you've already had some significant milestones here. For an animation channel to have views in the hundreds already is fantastic. And the fact that you're publishing animation content on a very regular basis is also very encouraging to me as well. Jeff, we don't have too much information about this channel, but what can you glean so far from Egg Keg Films?
Well, not much, because I see, like, playing the original Game Boy, which is cool because there's a lot of nostalgia factor around that, but not exactly sure what kind of stories, like if they're the creator's own personal stories or if they're telling other people's stories. So I still have a little bit of confusion, but maybe they're not sure about that yet either. So that'll be kind of interesting to see kind of where they go. But I love seeing the animation channels. I love the creativity behind it, and a lot of respect to them who can pump out content fast, because animation channels is tough, man, unless they really have a really fast workflow. Some of them don't do content but once a month if we get lucky. So I'm excited to see that they've done one 4 weeks ago, another one 2 weeks ago, and another one 3 days ago. This is a good sign. This is a very good start.
Yeah, I guess obviously we're taking these channels on first impressions. We're encountering this for the first time, and one of the crucial things for a potential viewer is to determine whether or not they're in the right place as quickly as possible. So maybe Jeff, you're getting maybe a little bit of not confusion, but fogginess over, am I in the right place? Is this video about the original Game Boy? Is it a nostalgic story about the creator themselves? Or is it more of a historical, factual look? Maybe there could be some context applied there a little bit. But I think also what you're saying here is that they're tying into I guess a trend or something popular that it has garnered, 350 views. I know that doesn't sound much, but for your first video on a channel, is pretty awesome. I think the other 2 videos feel more like very personal stories that are going to appeal more to the community that they've already built, which is fine as experimentation. But I'm looking at that original Nintendo Game Boy one, and I'm thinking, are there any more stories that you could tell which are going to maybe point to people who are young in the 1980s, kind of aging yourself a little bit there? Promising stuff. Ben and Michaela, usually I would wait until we'd ease you in, but you're professionals, you're experts, you've done this before. Is there anything you've noticed maybe from the thumbnails? I know we've not looked so much. I'll try and play one of the videos, but no guarantees that we're going to get any quality here from my internet.
Yeah, I noticed it seems like they've landed on some form of a color scheme, so I'd say that's a good start as far as the branding of it. It definitely looks like they're they're only 3 videos in. I'm sure they're still finding their way, but I like seeing the character in the two thumbnails where they're bigger. I like those better, just like you would with a normal face in a thumbnail from a person. Yeah.
And there goes my internet. All right, that works well. We'll move back. I think you just raised a really good point there, Ben, about the color scheme. Green and red, they contrast really well. And usually we would recommend that people don't use red text on thumbnails just because it never really contrasts very well with colors that creators want to use. But I think in this case, so using reds on like blues and greens, and those seem to contrast really well.
Yep. Yeah, I usually try to avoid red text in any of my thumbnails, but I decided to go full left because the brand of the product that I was talking about recently, they use a lot of red in their packaging and their promotion and their logo. So I said, you know what, let me go full left. So I took the picture with my lawn green background on the photo, and then I put the red text over it, and it was immediately like a 2 to 3% jump in click-through rate. Wow. So, and it went full left. Like I usually don't use that color, but it worked because it caters specifically to the audience who is searching for that type of video.
Yeah, I always find red and green to be interesting color combos myself, just because it makes me think about Christmas time. Especially like I could have easily just glanced and thought it said eggnog, but it says egg cake. So that's just the first thing I was like, is this a Christmas animation channel? But then I realized, no, it's not.
So thank you very much, Eggnog, there for the channel. We will revisit you, I think, in a couple of months when we do approach the holiday season. Let's move on to the next channel. This is our first gaming channel that's submitted this week. We are short of gaming expertise this week, so we're going to try our best. Apologies in advance if we don't have the usual Dan insight, but we're going to look here at Mr. Twist 6000. My immediate impression here is that this is a shorts channel. Why do I think that? Well, obviously the video lengths are relatively short, and they've made no attempt to customize their thumbnails, which is fine in this case. I mean, if there was some traffic sources coming from non-shorts views, then maybe you'd want to customize your thumbnails. What I'm also seeing here is very spiky views. So we got a video here from a week ago that has 7 views, another one with 5 views, and then all of a sudden one here with 600 views, then others with, less than 10 views, but another one here with 1,800 views. So what is causing these spiky views? Is it the game that you're playing? Is it the theme that's delivered in those videos? That is definitely something to try and narrow down in your data. Very simply do this by sorting by most popular. See if there is anything that's sticking out there. Those are my initial thoughts. Shorts channel, Jeff, Ben, and Michaela. Any thoughts generally here?
Yeah, it looks like he's mixing games. So it looks like we have some Grand Theft Auto and Fortnite, and I think I saw another one as well. And the cover photo and the name, and I don't know what game I'm coming to watch necessarily. So most of the time, I find most of the time successful gaming channels tend to hone in on a game that they kind of like really play mostly. Sure. And they're pretty clear about that type of stuff. So I'd say maybe it's a little, I'm just not sure what to expect as a newcomer here. I
was just going to click on one of the videos and get your, viewing experience out of this, sure. Ben and Michaela. I'm sure you'll have something to say about huge letterboxing and cropping questions to maybe answer.
Sure. Yeah, it's definitely interesting. I find gaming stuff like this can be tricky to put into vertical format, right? Because you're playing a game that's designed for a horizontal format, and then you're trying to turn it into shorts. So, you can try to make it full screen, but at the same time, you may be losing out on key information. So, it's kind of like a what's most important type of a thing. I've seen it done both way with gaming content. I think when you can zoom in, scale it up, fill the screen, but if you are missing out on that important info, definitely don't. But it's definitely interesting. I see they put looks like the logo and some text titles.
The first thing I noticed about this particular video, it actually has the TikTok logo on it, which is probably not working in his favor.
Yep.
I mean, this is one of the higher ranking videos, so maybe it's not a bad thing, but I know that a lot of times platforms don't prefer it if you have a different platform's logo on the video. So that would be just a quick tip to maybe take the time to upload the video separately rather than just taking it, from TikTok. And then the other thing, just like you said, Rob, earlier, just maybe doing some keyword research or trend alerts, and just trying to find, what's going to be a topic that's going to help it take off, because he does have the spiky views. But yeah.
Yeah, you raise a really good point there, Michaela, about the TikTok watermark. YouTube have basically said now that in terms of the Shorts Creator Fund, where they are now starting to pay out creators, they will not consider shorts that have watermarks from other social media platforms such as TikTok and Instagram. So you could have like a viral short with 20 million views that could earn you like a few $100, but because you've got that watermark on there, you're not going to earn diddly squat. So if it is your own content on TikTok, download it in a way that removes the watermark and then re-upload it to YouTube. So excellent short tip there. So that is Mr. Twist 6000. Those are the two channels that we have reviewed first because they submitted first here on the channel audits. But today we actually have a special sponsor on the vidIQ channel audit live stream, which is ourselves. You may have heard recently that we've launched a brand new tool called Daily Ideas. And what this essentially does is take a look at the content on your channel and also similar content on YouTube, and then suggest video ideas based off of that information. For example, I'm going to load up Daily Ideas for the vidIQ channel for the first time today. And one of the suggestions, the first suggestion that we have here is YouTube launches shorts for creators. And that as an idea to start the neurons firing in my creative mind is perfect, because we do lots of YouTube shorts content. I might save that one. Perfect. Next suggestion, how to monetize YouTube channel. Again, we are always making content about monetization, and this one pictures it as a listicle. It's kind of a bit keyword heavy. I may not title my own video in that way, but it's already pushing me towards the monetization idea. So I'll probably save that one as well. And then 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 hours of watch time. It's almost as if Daily Ideas knows exactly what my channel's about. I mean, El Jefe, you've had many suggestions, I think, from earbuds. What have been your experiences of Daily Ideas so far?
So far, it's really good. So one of the things that I also want to make sure that people are doing here is not taking that idea verbatim. Right?
Yes.
So don't take that verbatim. Use that to start your research, to say, okay, this looks kind of cool. Now we can click down and see what kind of videos are out there to start ideating around that idea. So for me, what it'll do is it'll give me a name of a product, right? And then I'll be like, oh, that's kind of intriguing. Let me take a look and see what's out there. Let me take a look and see if it's trending. Let me take a look and see if there's a lot of traffic around this, and whether or not wait to see, is this something my audience would want to see from me? And
absolutely,
I would say if they give me 10 suggestions, I would say probably 7 to 8 of them are solid, and I'll be able to save them, write them down, and I'll put them in my back pocket for a time where I need something specific, like, hey, okay, I have time. Let me go ahead and make this additional video. And they've actually performed quite well. So that's just something for people to think about. Don't take these titles or these suggestions verbatim, but use them to trigger your thought process. It's an idea, and you have to take that idea and run with it.
And Ben and Michaela, you call this the secret sauce of YouTube on the video that you made on Daily Ideas.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's that like kind of extra edge that we have, that kind of like secret weapon, because I know for me myself, like I don't feel like I struggle with ideas. I feel like what I struggle with is too many ideas. Like how do I pick the next best idea? And using this tool is really good for someone like me who's like, oh, I have like 1,000 things I want to go do. I go to Daily Ideas and I'm just like, hey, what is it recommending based on, you know, my channel and based on my audience and based on all of these things? Like, I kind of try to base it a little bit more off like, what is the data telling me, you know, because I think it's it kind of helps me narrow it down a little bit more.
So these are all of the suggestions that have been delivered to me for the vidIQ channel. I mean, one here, I'm looking at this one thinking, oh, that's a really interesting way of looking at evergreen topics. I've never really thought about that keyword. There's also one up here, this is interesting to me, like get 1 million subscribers instantly. And as just an idea in itself there, I'm thinking, I would never actually try and educate somebody on how to get 1 million subscribers instantly. So I would almost subvert this idea and say how getting 1 million subscribers instantly is dumb, or it's a stupid idea. You just enhance the idea to try and communicate to creators that, it's not an instant thing, YouTube. I mean, we were just talking to Ben McKellar about, getting 100,000 subscribers. In some ways, it only gets harder because there's expectation from your community now, and you got to deliver more and more in your content. But this is just a brief introduction to daily ideas, and we highly recommend that you download vidIQ and you check it out for your channel. For Boost users, you get 50 ideas a day, or up to 50 ideas. But for free users, if you're not paying a single penny, you will get 3 ideas a day. That is, let's do a quick maths. 90 ideas a month. Wow, that took a while for me to figure out a very simple multiplication there. But yeah, almost 100 ideas every single month from the free version of this. That is daily ideas. With that being said, let's now look at another channel. What I need to do here, due to the unique way in that StreamYards works, I need to stop sharing my screen for a second, and then we need to start sharing a second screen, because with Ben and Michaela being experts at looking at the detail in a channel, the actual filming that goes behind it, we're going to look at this on another tab, which hopefully means that we can play the video. So first of all, just let's quickly introduce ourselves to Cooking with Mama Mav. What do you think of this channel as on a whole here, Ben and Michaela? And then we'll look at a video.
Yeah, no, I think I gotta say, I think the cover is strong. Like, I think it's pretty good. It's easy to tell. I think you could add maybe a little bit of food elements to it, but the simplicity is nice. I know what I'm kind of like getting into as a channel right away. I don't know as much about the thumbnails themselves, that those could potentially be a little different, but at least I know that it's food and it's looking like that type of food is based on the thumbnail. So that's good. Those are my initial thoughts on it. All
right, so let's jump into one of his videos and we'll just let that run, and then give us your thoughts here.
Yeah, so I just wanted to, even if you want to pause it right here, this is something I wanted to make a quick note on. This is looks like we're up to about like 9, almost 10 seconds on the video. I feel like there could have been a lot more unique things that could have happened in those first couple seconds on how to easily make a grilled cheese sandwich. Yeah. That would have instantly captivated me. Right when it started, we're basically looking at a table. And then now we're kind of zooming around to these things. But an idea for you to consider, or others who are doing similar things, in those first couple seconds, maybe quickly show the finished product, or quickly show what the viewer is going to get out of it, so that they instantly get hooked and want to find out how to do it. Because that beginning is, the information is probably good and the content is probably decent, but because of that beginning, you're almost, hurting yourself in the long term. Now this channel did a voiceover, and I thought that they did a great job with their voiceover. I think one thing they could have done in general was to shoot a little bit wider. We're very close.
Very tight, isn't it? Yeah.
I feel very crammed in, and it's not so much that the quality or the lighting is, it's just about the framing. Could we just come out a little bit and then maybe show a shot of yourself doing things as well, rather than just this close up. And I think just those couple of tweaks, even if you are a creator with only one camera and you're trying to accomplish something like this, perhaps film yourself doing it, maybe a little wider, but then also film, a talking headshot separately, where you're just kind of explaining it and maybe can move your hands around so people can see it a little better. Just something to think about as you're going to create the content. For someone like me, I think I would have been a lot easier to understand and take in, and also get hooked right away at the beginning.
Any issues with the lighting here? It feels like it doesn't feel like a daylight light, for example. I could be wrong here.
Yeah, it's honestly just hard to tell because it is so close.
Yeah.
It's hard. There's not really much to go off of. I do think it's It could probably use improvement, but it's just hard to tell what they're doing. Exactly.
I would say, to me, it looks like one of the things that's going on is, again, just thinking of the placement of the light, maybe placing it a little bit more in front of you and a little bit more direct. Because right now it almost seems like anytime the hands pass over, it's just casting shadows. And I don't think that's like, at the end of the day, I can see what's going on to an extent. I just think if it was a little wider, it would be good. I don't think the lighting's like the worst thing ever or anything. There's always can be improvements, but I think it's just a little hard to have the context.
I think if we step back for a little bit though, this channel's 2 months old. I think as if there's a certain level of quality already there.
Yes.
The videos are getting hundreds of views. Channel's approaching 250 subscribers. So, I mean, generally we're all satisfied, happy with where the creator is.
Yes.
Now it's just, moving on to the improving that 1%, thinking about, the wider shot, maybe in your next video. And then the video after that, you think about adding yourself, trying to run 2 cameras at the same time, that sounds terrifying to me. I don't know if I could even do that with 1,000 videos in the bag. Jeff, I just want to quickly jump to you about the thumbnails. I thought that they were of an acceptable quality, but they lack a bit of vibrancy and punch. And when it comes to cooking channels, you really are selling your wares, so to speak, your video in that tasty, succulent thumbnail.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So that's one of the things where, you don't have to have a super exceptional camera for that. I know for me, like what I consider the thumbnail cheat code for many channels, including my own, I use a Google Pixel phone, actually a very budget Pixel phone, which is a 4A, which is, I think you can get them for like $200 now, but the camera is exceptional. So for stuff like this, you can take an excellent picture, nice up close shot of the food, but you also want to bump up that saturation to really get it to pop, because some of them look a little flat. Is it just me? Yeah. Some of them look a little flat. Yeah. So that's all. But aside from that, I know some of them they were using text, but to be completely honest, with the food at the top row without text looks a lot better to me personally.
Okay, so I'm going to try and so what I'm looking at here is, where has my microphone magnifying glass thing gone? I can't see it. All right, so I'm looking at this shrimp scampi pasta. Let's see if we can find the perfect thumbnail. I mean, there is a little bit more punch on this top one, as you can see. Couldn't care less about Gordon Ramsay, go away. But the other ones, there's a certain level of lighting and detail and punch. It's just there's a little extra there, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean that's actually pretty simple, because I've seen there was a food photography person that I used to work with, and the way that they did it was so simple, where they had lighting, but most of the time they did their photography when they had light coming through a kitchen window, and then they would use diffusion on it, and it would look amazing. Like I was just like, how are you doing this? How do they look so good? So but it was just waiting for the right time of the day. They would just snap their pictures. Like even if they like, let's say that you don't have to make it like right then and there. You could always take the picture beforehand if you make it ahead of time. I don't know how these cooking channels are doing it. If it's just a one-off run, like I'm going to make it once and get this video done and that's it. But yeah, working on the thumbnails, getting them to look good, but also doing some thumbnail research. If I'm going to make a video about grilled cheese, I'm going to look up grilled cheese on YouTube and see what kind of thumbnails are popping to give me some ideas on what works. And then obviously, if you're a Boost customer, you have access to the thumbnail comparison tool, so you can compare your thumbnails against the top ranking ones to see, if there's anything you could be doing better.
Jeff, we've described you as a segue king in past.
Oh, no.
I'm now calling you the filler expert, because as you were talking, it allowed me time to switch back to my other screen, which was really helpful. Thank you very much. All right, why are we showing a picture of Jeff Goldblum staring at a pile of poo? Well, the answer to that is that we ask you to share what your next idea might be in the form of a GIF. And I can only assume that the next idea for this creator is a retrospective on Jeff Goldblum's worst films, or a review of Jurassic Park, the original. I can't think of any other reason why we've used that GIF, but it is a funny GIF and it appeals to my childish sense of humor. So Monarchist Gaming is a winner of this week's Twitter competition. And so we're going to look at Monarchist Gaming. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Let's see what you've got in the channel banner here. I'm seeing Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and it looks like maybe a Call of Duty game there. But then when I look at your top videos, I'm seeing cricket, which is sports style gaming, a bit of a departure from your channel banner. So maybe you are jumping from game to game a little bit. No, I'd actually say it looks like a cricket gaming channel. So let's see if you can update your channel banner to reflect that. Now, I'm guessing, Jeff, Ben, and Michaela, unless you are closet cricket fans, you're probably not too familiar with this sport. It's very popular in England. It's kind of our version of baseball, although it lasts for 5 days and sometimes it can end in a draw. How you explain that, I have no idea, but that is cricket. Here's a really curious thing for me, though. I am also a fan of wrestling, and I can see that this channel is trying to merge the concept of wrestlers in cricket. I don't know how that's possible. Maybe they're creating custom characters within this cricket game and then putting them into thumbnails, which is quite hilarious to me. I think it's a really interesting, funny idea. And I've watched some of the videos, and they do have a wrestling theme to them, which again makes me chuckle. And we do see some spiky views here. Like we've got some videos here with 800 views, 500 views, 400 views, and then others which don't have quite as many views. So I think you have an idea here that you're kind of trying to form properly, but and maybe you're going to be this comedy cricket channel. Does it impact videos that aren't necessarily about comedy or not necessarily about merging these two very distinct themes? That's why maybe this video here has got 4 views. So I feel as if you have a really interesting, unique idea, which could perhaps go viral on occasion. But you're really going to have to really fine tune that. And you may also be putting yourself in a bit of a corner by doing that. And those are my general thoughts, but I'd love to hear if Ben, Michaela, Jeff, you have any other thoughts on this channel, which is very, very unique in the gaming sense.
My first thing that I'm noticing is that they're putting out a lot of content, like so much content in such a short amount of time, which is awesome. I think that everybody should be putting out as much content as you can, because the more you can put out, the more views you could possibly get. I tend to not love yellow text on a thumbnail. Some of those are very difficult to read. So maybe put a different outline around those words, or pick a different color that's that sticks out a little bit more. But yeah, I mean, I'm impressed with how much content they're putting out. Honestly, that was just my first thing that I could say about it.
Yeah, you're definitely right about the yellow, because it's on top of the green grass. It's just, that tends to be very yellowy as well.
I was going to say, Michaela, looks like it's a mix of long form content and shorts. So maybe long form content every couple of days, shorts every day, if not more. So, yeah, it's a good committing to consistency there. Anything from you, Jeff? Or
I'm waiting to see, like, at some point, did they ever play Assassin's Creed? Like, I'm genuinely intrigued, like, because they got the character up there on the banner.
Yeah,
so,
there we go.
Okay, so at a certain point, they did touch the game. Okay, good.
Yeah. All
right. I want to make sure. Fun fact: Assassin's Creed is one of my all-time favorite game series. So I was like, where's the Assassin's Creed, man? But no, this is actually kind of cool. I like what they're doing. I like the idea of bringing in wrestling superstars into this. I think, if anything, to really capitalize on it would be to go to which are the trendiest of the wrestling superstars right now. And who is driving the most traffic? Is it the new current champion? Is it something that just went down? Maybe a controversial topic. Maybe there's some drama around, something. But there's always drama going on in wrestling. So why not take advantage of that? So, like, Goldberg's cool, Hulk Hogan cool, right? Cool from our era. But what's trending right now in wrestling? I would say lean into that. If you can bring that into your cricket style gaming that's going on here, I think you can try to pull in the best of both worlds.
Quick sidebar then, Jeff, which is your favorite Assassin's Creed?
For me, it's going to be, I would have to say, I think it's number 3. It's a series that had Ezio that were in old school Italy. So those were probably my favorite ones. I think I was playing them on, I'm going to have to say it was 360, Xbox 360 when I was playing those games. So, but like, I still play to this day. I have Assassin's Creed Valhalla on the PS5. So like, I'm still playing.
I'm playing through that. I feel it's like a bit of a slog, but I
is.
did spend 125 hours on Origins, which I thought was really good, but it really got to my ADHD, because like when I see something on a map with a symbol, I have to turn it green or get a checkbox on it, whether it's just finding a chest or killing somebody or all of the synchronized points. Anyway, this is not the Assassin's Creed hour, unless Ben and Michaela, you have anything insightful to add to the game.
No.
On then.
It's true. ADHD and video games go together like peanut butter and jelly. So
exactly. Hey, jelly. There we go. Discord. We have an amazing community of thousands of Discord members who, like in this live stream chat, are trying to help out fellow creators. For example, we have the thumbnail Discord channel where people share their thumbnails and others give feedback. We're doing this for a couple of hours, but you can get this 24/7 through Discord. And what we like to do is pick community members from that channel, from the entire Discord community, and reward them with a channel audit. Those people are giving really good advice, spending their valuable time helping other creators, because that's what we all want to do. We want to help each and everybody grow on YouTube. And so the channel we selected this week is No Time Gamer. Now, I think I'm getting a little bit of deja vu here. I remember this channel name, but I don't think we've looked at this channel for months, if not a year. They've just hit 2,000 subscribers. Congratulations. But what I see here are really good thumbnails. I see titles that have intriguing ideas. But what I'm not really seeing here is momentum. Every single video, more or less, is getting 100 views or less. Maybe a couple are getting above 100 views. Occasionally 1,000 views. But there seems to be, and this is in no way a criticism of a channel, but a fundamental gap or hole in the channel, which is meaning that it's not growing. So how do we try and answer that? Just general thoughts, Ben, Michaela, Jeff, anything you're noticing here which may explain why the channel isn't necessarily growing?
I'm taking a second to look at it.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, for me, normally it's going to be which is my default answer, is not niching into a particular topic where you're a little too broad based, even within gaming, because a lot of people who get into this, especially some of our customers who I speak with who are just starting up and they're doing gaming, focusing on a single game or on a single genre of games doesn't even cross their mind. Right. And that's one of the things where I'll begin to kind of coach them and say, hey, maybe you should start thinking about looking at, you get to do all these different games, but see which ones perform best. When you make these videos about certain games, see which ones perform best and start thinking about how you can really start doubling down on the content that works on your channel, the types of videos that your audience is responding to. And then it also comes down to what kind of content are you making around gaming, whether it's Let's Play or if it's how-tos or tips or whatever, if it's listicles, but really start kind of focusing on which route you want to take to start really drawing in an audience, to start really making videos for a very particular viewer. And that could be what's happening here, is that they're trying to reach everyone and reaching no one in the process, where if they start to really narrow that focus and start to focus whether it's on 3 types of people or 1 type of person, they could see more growth.
I think from what I understand from the channel, Jeff, I think the value prop is that they are a very busy gamer and they haven't got the time to do tons of research on maybe a game review or whatever. They need the information quick and fast. I think that's what No Time Gamer is. And I see busy gamer review in a lot of the titles as well. So I think that's where the value proposition is, that they're trying to say, I'm going to review games, but in a unique way. But I think we're establishing here that that's just not really having an impact. And what really makes this interesting is if I sort by most popular, the more popular videos tend to have longer watch time. So this idea of reviewing games in maybe 2 or 4 minutes sounds fantastic, but the data and the audience suggests that they prefer content which is slightly longer. And then on top of this, Jeff, you were talking about, a particular game genre or whatever. I think this channel has more success with hardware rather than software. I'm looking at these most popular videos, and it always seems to be like a review of the Xbox or PS5 versus Xbox, or like a particular accessory. So those tend to be the stronger elements. Although having said that, these videos are relatively old, 3 months or older. But then on top of this, I see the likes and dislikes ratio, and you're also creating arguments or controversy in those videos. So there's a lot of maybe things that we can't see on first impressions that are going on underneath the surface of this channel. Ben, Michaela, been able to notice anything as I've just been, as Jeff and I have been chatting away?
Yeah, I mean, you guys, as soon as I'm like thinking of something, you guys are saying it, and then you're saying stuff I'm not even thinking about, and I'm just learning. So this is great. No, I think the observation about the hardware versus software was really interesting. It did seem like like maybe it's less about being a channel about a particular game and more about just helping gamers in general. And I think that's, if they can figure out how to keep leaning into that more, maybe reviewing different controllers or different, even different gaming headsets and stuff like that, maybe they could see some success there.
Yeah, and I think too, like you were saying, Rob, we're thinking that this is a channel where he's trying to have a unique point of view from just, people want the information and they're going to give it to them fast, which is great. But if the information that you're giving, if you're giving it too fast and people can't comprehend it and it's not actually adding value to them, it's not going to go anywhere. So if you're trying to make like a lot of valuable content in a short frame of time, 5 minutes or less, people will like that if it's adding value to them. So if that's what you're trying to do, just maybe script it out, really make sure that everything that you're saying is on purpose and it's intentional rather than like rambling, because then people are actually going to get the information that you're wanting them to get at the end of the video.
Yeah. And going into the data of each individual video and looking at the audience retention is probably going to give you some insights as to whether you're delivering the content too fast or, people are just getting bored after 30 seconds.
Right.
I think the final thing I will say about this channel is, on very first impressions, I see this as a game review channel. And so why would I choose this over IGN, GameSpot, the big game review channels? And the value proposition is that it's for busy gamers, but maybe that value proposition isn't coming out strong enough to convince people to continue watching the content. And as Ben, you said, going down this hardware route, maybe just for 5-10 videos and seeing if you can build some momentum there might be worth investigating. Sorry, Jeff, I may have cut you off. Was there something that you wanted to add, or are we?
No, I agree completely. And just a second, double down on that and think of that as an investment, because that's what I did to really find the focus of my own personal channel, was where I spoke with somebody and they had basically said the same thing. They're like, listen, if this is what the data is showing us, that over the past 6 months, these are the types of videos that do the best on your channel, then I highly recommend you invest 5 to 10 videos hammering away at this particular topic and see what happens. And that changed the whole trajectory of my channel. So that's something that I would want people to kind of think about sometimes. And it could really help boost your content.
Once again, Jeff filling in there expertly as I switch to my other window and we take a look at SD Huston. What does that say in the value proposition? The font is really weird and it's black on a dark background. Writers in training, is that what it says? I think it does. All right. All right. So yeah, Ben and Michaela, what are we looking at here, channel wise, and then we'll jump into one of the videos. Yeah.
So based on we picked this channel in particular just to show something on one of the videos, but I do like how you already noticed the black text on dark background. And, I get why maybe they chose that type of font. It seems like this is a channel about books. So it sort of seems like a pen type of writing, situation. But yeah, I think we just had some stuff to talk about with the composition and lighting on on one of the videos.
All right, let's jump into that then. It was this one, wasn't it? Book cover design. All right, so let's hope this works. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, you can go ahead and pause it right there. I just wanted to and
then you want me to pause it there.
Yeah. So as we were watching this, I noticed, and I see this sometimes from people's channels, but there's actually throughout the video, there's a lot of moments where this talking head shot is very blown out. It's the light that they're running is too bright, and you can see there's portions of her face that get completely lost. And I think a lot of people, when they first go to buy a light, their instinct is, all right, I'm going to run this thing at full power. And
Yeah.
I
did that for years.
is your face gets blown out and you don't get to get that detail, and then it just looks a little strange. So this is something to mention. Like for me personally, a lot of my lights, I tend to run them 20%, 50%, right around that range, because I just don't actually need the 100% output a lot of times. So one thing to mention was that, and then also let's talk about the composition here, where she's basically looking up at us, which means we're kind of looking down on her, and it kind of lacks that level of relatability, and it also just feels a little strange. It feels a little confined. It almost feels like she's very short and we're very tall. It's very interesting. So while you're going to shoot your videos, think about these things. I would say the optimal camera placement is going to be eye level, or maybe just ever so slightly above eye level. And it will feel a lot more natural. Make sure not to run your light too bright. And I think you'll be in a good spot. Now, I will say, in her defense, I think the lighting placement is great. And I think that, we see that there's the lighting positioning is good overall. It's just those little tweaks. Again, it's not that it's bad. It's just these are some improvements that she could do.
I think she actually looks pretty good in the thumbnail in terms of lighting composition. Actually, it looks, looks much better. And I think we talked about this as well before, Ben and Michaela, last time you were on, in that sometimes the reason people put lighting up to 100% is because the automatic settings on the camera are then fighting against it. So like, it doesn't matter what setting the light is at, because the camera is trying to automatically adjust, you always end up with weird things going on. So maybe think about manual settings. I know that sounds daunting, but it can make you look fantastic when you get it set right. And I would also like to add as well, although there are some lighting and composition issues, I think the editing and the way this person is bringing in B-roll and like switching from one position, and I think they've got two different camera angles as well, and there's all sorts of things going on here. I think that's there are positives here, aren't there, that keeping the viewer engaged in that sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah, attention.
Shall we have? Sorry, Jeff, what was that?
No, I was saying attention breaks in the edit like that are a really good thing. So that's even something that I'm continuing to work on and stuff like that. So it's good to see that. But yeah, I agree. The going to manual settings can help greatly. Even additional diffusion on their lighting to kind of bring it down a bit in case they don't have adjustable lights. Because that was my mistake when I first started. I didn't buy adjustable lights. So now with adjustability and good softbox and running them at a lower way, but then also the settings on the camera make such a huge difference. And I am not a photographer. I am not a videographer by any means at all. I have no background on that. So thankfully I had a friend who kind of sat on the phone with me while I was dialing it in, and we kind of we're literally on a StreamYard call so that they can see the changes in real time. And they were like, okay, go back this way. Okay, go back this way. All right, yeah, now it's just lighting. Yeah.
Pivots. Sorry, I got Friends reference in my head there for some reason.
Yeah, we had to adjust it. But hey, I mean, a friend, what's a friend for, right? And they helped me dial it in, and but just even learning that from that session, now I'm much more comfortable with adjusting manual settings when I'm shooting outdoors even. So it's stuff that can definitely help you, but you just got to learn those basics, be open to it, and it can make a huge difference in the way your videos look.
Titles and thumbnails. I think what the creator is doing here is cutting them. Are they using like a default background and then placing themselves in front? It looks like a little bit here. I'm sensing a little bit of flatness in the images, although they're using like a color opacity to bring them to the foreground.
Yeah, I think there's just a level of busyness to them.
True.
I think a lot of times whatever they're doing in the background, where it's kind of color transparency stuff going on, we can't tell what's in the background, and I think it's just getting in the way of whatever the text is a lot of the time. So maybe not needed. If you're going to go through the through the level
Yeah.
of cutting yourself out, you could just make it solid,
Just
or
actually put yourself on the background.
maybe go through the trouble of cutting out a book or something as well and put that on there. So it's like, oh, okay, it's about books. You know, I don't know, just some ideas.
I do like that they're not putting, like, for the most part, they're not putting tons of text on the thumbnails, which is great. Like I can pretty much read every word on every thumbnail, which is awesome.
I like this thumbnail here. I think this is a good example of where they position themselves well on a thumbnail. It's not too busy. They've used like a bit of illustration of a heart and like test your idea. Maybe you'd want to change the text on the title and thumbnail to add a bit more intrigue. But yeah, as you say, Ben, good point here, where we're getting up a little further, a bit of business going on here. We should really talk about like the topics as well a little bit.
Well, one thing on the title, Rob, titles is I like them when they're shorter. So some of them are getting truncated, and if they can keep them to below 50, because I'm not a fan of seeing the multiple titles in a video. Just keep it simple. Make it really easy for me to understand it. Like develop story ideas, 2 steps, and then 2 steps to develop story ideas. That should have been it. There should be no more after that. There shouldn't be and this and this. No. Just simple idea. You can explain everything else in the description in the video. But for your title, just hook me with whatever the strongest hook is and just leave it at that. Make it very simple for me to understand.
I'm looking at this one here, their most popular video. Write to trend. Should you write to trend? How to write a fiction. It's almost as if you could take that beginning bit out of a title and leave it in a thumbnail and then have how to write a fiction book episode 1. That might be the title. And then, you know, from the thumbnail, that's where you're adding a bit more context.
Yep.
So that is SD Huston there. And Jeff, you were talking about how it's good to have friends and, you know, experts in certain fields and things. And hey, we've got 2 people on here who are exactly that, who are, of course, Ben and Michaela. And let's just share a little bit about your channel, which has hit 100,000 subscribers. I believe the last time you were on like 98,000 subscribers.
Yep.
So congratulations for hitting that landmark. I guess if you were to give a few pieces of advice on how you've reached that goal in, I think it was about, I know you've been on YouTube since 2012, but I think you started taking it seriously 2018, 2019. Is that right?
2020.
Oh, wow. So you've pretty much done it in a year, you know, a year.
Just over a year. Yep.
Ooh, okay. So you're the experts here. It took me 5 years to get 100,000 on vidIQ. So what knowledge bombs can you impart on our audience here?
I would say
Oh, hello?
Oh, no.
Jeff, are you still here?
Yeah, I'm still here. Did it freeze?
Oh, the tension. It's almost as if StreamYards did this on purpose.
Oh, no.
Oh, Ben and Michaela. You have, I don't know if you can hear me, Ben and Michaela, but you've dropped out. You were just about to impart your knowledge. Hopefully we can get you back. We'll just leave you hanging there for a moment. So I guess, Jeff, we'll just move on to the next channel in the meantime until we can get them back on the stream. And we are going to look next at our simple story, a simple and intentional life in a small place. So do you just want to quickly give us a rundown of what you think this channel is here, Jeff?
Sure. We actually just looked at this channel last week.
Oh, did we?
Yep.
Oh,
yeah, we totally did. Yeah, it was myself, Travis, and Dan. We literally just looked at this channel last week, so it totally comes to mind because but yeah, we went through it pretty thoroughly. A lot of the stuff that they were doing, you know, they're doing a minimalistic lifestyle. I liked what they were doing with their thumbnails, and it looks like they might have taken some of the advice because it looks like some of these titles have been shortened as well.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just refixing stuff here. Let me just do that. All right, so sorry. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, no, not a problem, man. Let's see here. Oh, whoops. Let me do this really quick also because looks like. Hang on a sec here. Sorry, guys.
We got technical issues. It's good job, Savage isn't here.
Well, hold on. We'll see if we can fix that too. Let's see. All right, there we go. All right, so scroll down again. All right, there we go. So best 5 TED Talks change your life. Tips for moving with a baby and toddler. So yeah, so packing with kids, empty house tour of our new home. So and it looks like a lot of time management around kids as well. But it looks like they did take some of these ideas because I'm not seeing any truncated titles in in any of their videos right now. So it looks like because we did waffle on quite a bit about the titles being too long. So it looks like they did, but we totally did look at this channel just last week.
All right, so I think we'll probably move on. If you missed this, Our Simple Story, do check the full audit last week. And now we can reintroduce not Ben and Michaela. I'm not sure where they are right now. Hopefully the internet fixes itself for them. But we can welcome in Travis. Hey, Travis, how are you doing?
Hey, I'm here. Yay. Welcome, everybody.
So the behind-the-scenes story here was that Travis sent me a message 20 minutes before we went live to say, I'm a little busy doing something else here. Can you find somebody else to fill in? So El Jelly filled in expertly as always. So we were just wondering why it was that you were not able to attend. And so what iPhone 13 video have you just finished?
Well,
Travis?
so there's a couple things. I had a coaching session this morning, which pushed back everything else that I could do, which an hour, which pushed everything back. So yeah, I did a reaction video, but that's because of the coaching session this morning. It pushed it back. Otherwise, I'd have been done before the live stream. Don't hate on me. Everyone in the chat, if you're going to Vid Summit next, what is it, next week?
Yep. It is next week.
Booth, because we're going to be there, Jeff, Rob, and I. Well, are you going to be there, Rob?
So I am not going to be there for travel reasons. I mean, this is really boring, but I'll tell you anyway, because I've been in the UK in the last 14 days from when Vid Summit starts. I'm not allowed to travel to the US. So unfortunately, I won't be there, but you will be able to see Jeff and Travis and an incredible booth. That's all I'm going to say. We've got something cooked up, which is going to look stunning. So do make sure to check it out if you are there.
Ben in the chat says their internet totally died. Dude, sorry about that, man. Yeah, it was great having you guys on, though.
That's what 100,000 subscribers will get you. Terrible internet. But we do, of course, thank Ben and Michaela for their auditing. We were pretty much up to the hour anyway, so I appreciate it very much, Ben and Michaela, and we'll see you soon.
And they make awesome videos. For people that aren't familiar, if you're looking for a channel that does a lot of camera and creation type of tips, you guys really need to check out their channel, because that's how I found them. That's literally how I found them, was because I was looking up some tutorials on getting your color correctly and using LED lights and RGB lighting. And that's how I found them myself. I think he was around 40,000 when I found this channel. So, and it wasn't even that long ago. So definitely somebody worth checking out.
If you look at the vidIQ channel, look to say maybe 6 months ago versus the videos now, you'll see a complete contrast in the way my lighting looks on my videos. And I think it's through when I was watching Ben's content that it kind of forced me to go manual. And, you know, I went through some pain points, but I think I've almost got it right now to where I think the content on the channel looks a little bit better. Anyway, let's move on to the next channel that we're going to audit. And Travis, I did save the one I think that you picked. It is the Pew2. Great channel name. As one that we're going to remember in an hour's time. And they look as if they are a channel that focus on the theme parks in the Florida region in Orlando and whatnot.
So a couple of things, not super important, but the banner is not mobile friendly. Means it'll be cut off right in the text, ironically. And then, of course, the value proposition, we have those ands, theme park tips and tricks and vlogs and updates and more. And when a word of advice, don't never put and more, because it means nothing. It means nothing. The theme park tips and tricks is all I need to know. That's a great value proposition and enough for me to know that that's what I want. Vlogs, updates, and more doesn't really tell me anything, and I think it's just to try to fill in maybe even visually what's going on there. Having said that, theme park stuff is cool. So let's see. I think we had a theme park channel like last week or something too. It seems to be kind of familiar.
I think we see like theme park style channels maybe once every couple of months, and they usually never get that much traction. You know, there's usually a couple of hundred views per video, but this one really seems to have broken that mold a little bit, and they have a good community and lots of viewers. So what might be the reason for this?
Well, I love that first of all, their live stream did really well. I mean, that's really good for a channel this size.
Yeah.
It was 3,000 views on channel with 4,000 is really great, and the thumbnail on the live stream makes it look like a regular video, which is amazing. Having said that, a lot of these other ones are very like there's so much going on. Like visually, they're overwhelming. The intensity one triggers my like OCD in a way. It almost feels like there's just so much there. It's my eyes are hurting because it's all in my eyes. But yeah, I mean, the colors are there, kind of the idea behind them is there, the themes are there, what not to do at Halloween. Like I love the idea behind it. There's more simplistic thumbnails, but there's still like so much going on. Is it just me, or does that seem like too much?
Yeah, I agree with you in that they are very busy. I think what I will say is that there's an element of organized chaos where I feel as if they're not just busy for busy's sake. There is some strategy to this. And, I guess the broader question would be, what is this space like for thumbnails? Do they all have this similar style? But I mean, we gravitate to simplicity, don't we? Just as general advice. So maybe there is an argument for testing simpler thumbnails to see if it does improve click-through rate or not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that definitely is a good point. I can see that there is some skill here. Like they're using a specific type of font that looks good. The colors are really vibrant. Like there's good stuff here. It's just we'd have to know what the sensibilities of the viewer is. Typically.
All right. I just want to maybe look what other I mean, those are great thumbnails. That one's pretty good.
So what the difference here is that they're showing specifically like the rides and stuff,
which
is typically going to work because if you're looking for something like this, you want to know what it looks like. You want to make sure you're choosing the right video. Like this is just confirmation. So these other ones are more busy, but what is the point of them being busy? Like what extra value are you giving? And I'm not saying that as in there is none. I'm asking like, what is the extra value there? So I love like the intensity and what is that? I can't even read the second one. I can't read what it says there, but I mean, I love the visual kind of overall look of it, but I don't understand why there's so much in each thumbnail.
Okay. So thumbnails may be something to.
But I mean, look, their views are great. I mean, they're doing really good in what is a very hard niche, especially this time of year, where most people are kind of done doing their vacations, kind of done going to theme parks, unless you live in the, somewhere where the weather's fine to do that. So really, really successful here the last couple of months.
I'd be interested to know the traffic sources for this channel. Because usually you think that something like this would have a lot of search traffic, people wanting to know more about the holiday destination. But it feels to me like there is a lot of return viewers for this channel, a really good tight-knit community, which would suggest that they have a really good community that returns to their content over and over again. So now I'm thinking, how do you create flagship pieces of content if they're going to bring in new viewers, maybe through search? Again, I could be wrong here. It's just the consistency of views here is really solid.
Yeah, 100%. And
wow, they've only been going for 3 months as well. I didn't even realize that. That's incredible.
That's actually really good then.
That's really good.
Almost 10,000 in 3 months. That's actually kind of crazy.
I'm wondering if maybe they've just got the timing right in that the parks reopened after COVID and they were able to really capitalize that, and maybe other creators, there's a lack of supply here for content and they've really capitalized on it. But yeah, really good stuff.
Yeah, that's fantastic for just 3 months. Yeah.
Jeff, any thoughts there that you have, or are we good to move on?
No, I think we're going to move on.
All right, then let's move on to the next channel. I think this is the last pre-selected channel, and they are called Premier History, and they have 6,000 subscribers. I just want to put the screen here, and I want to see if Jeff and Travis can notice the big topic that this channel should be maybe covering.
Yep, World War II.
Can you go any more specific than that?
I mean, military vehicles looks like, but
well, I would say, well, no, I was going to say mostly Eastern, but it seems like they're also doing some Iwo Jima, so that specific theater. But
All right. Let's make this a little easier. Let's sort by most popular.
Interesting. Ranks.
Yeah.
Weird.
So there's 3 videos there that are all on ranks for different armies from different countries, I assume, or like just army rank order. And these are getting tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of views, which is pretty incredible. Yeah. I think another really interesting thing about this channel is that this is something that we rarely discuss, but I think it's really important to point this out here. This is one of the what we call faceless channels, whereby what they're predominantly doing, I hope the video works here, it probably isn't. So yeah, the video isn't just it buffering. What it actually does show is just pictures and videos, but there's no creator talking. But there is a creator talking and there is a voiceover, but they're not really in front of screen or anything. It's all about the imagery that's on the channel. And I really wish I could demonstrate that to you, but unfortunately I can't. So if you are interested in how to be a successful faceless channel, then Premier History is certainly one to look at. But specifically here, while Jeff and Travis, you are saying that this channel does kind of focus along the World War II topic predominantly, I think this really sub-niche here of different army ranks and insignia and that type of thing is their master topic on YouTube.
Yeah, 100%. It is interesting because I don't know how many, but the thing is, like with ranks and stuff, you only can really do it once. It'd be interesting to know, like, how would you then have to think about, okay, well, who searched for that and what else are they interested in? Is it this kind of data driven kind of, visual thing, or are they really interested more in military things that you can tie to this ranking system so that they would get recommended your content like after they've watched this? So what is
I guess what would be the natural branch off here? Because I'm seeing insignia, but I'm also seeing it on uniforms. So could you do different uniforms from different armies and countries as a sidestep?
Or maybe you could talk more about what each rank actually means versus their actual like how long does it take you to be this, or and they look through the comments and see what people are saying. Like, what else do they want to know, or
Oh yeah, like factoids, right? Like, here's what it takes to get you from this rank to the next rank or whatever. You can even if they don't say it, let's say that they're not even voicing it, but you could even have that come up as like how to get to the next rank and like things to do, either this much time or whatever it might be, or this many actions. I'm not a military dude, so I don't know. So that's, but whatever that would take. And as you see, the Navy rank one was from 3 weeks ago, 6,000 subscribers, 64,000 views and climbing. Wow. So this is like, that's excellent. Like the listicle thing.
How many different branches of the army are there in the US? We've got the Navy, we've got the would it be the Air Force, Marines?
So we got the Space Force now.
It's got the Space Force, that's another one.
New branch,
Could you do police? I mean, it'd be pretty much the same thing, I think.
Yeah,
why not? Yeah. Fire departments, anything with ranking.
Yeah.
So I mean, we've just come up with 3 or 4 really off the top of our dome pieces ideas. Just think how Premier History you could really refine those for your content, if that's the direction you want to go in. But that is, I would certainly say that army ranks, insignias, kind of that listicle format is definitely your YouTube super power there.
Pinky Tech, you have an excellent question. Do we count the Coast Guard? I say yes, but I am not the one who decides these things. But if I was Premier History, I would do one anyway. So I would do one anyway. I would do one on every single branch, and then also police, fire departments, and anything else that has ranks. Do we have a ranking within vidIQ?
Maybe we should have a vidIQ ranking.
vidIQ ranking, right?
That would be so. What would so Travis? What would your rank be?
Probably be a sergeant. I don't want to.
It'd be savage first class, maybe something like that.
I'd be the FNG for sure.
FNG, and I would just be a non-commissioned officer, whatever that means. I've always wondered what that means, but there we are. All right, so that's the first half of the channel audit live streams. We'll be back after this short intermission.
Introducing daily ideas from vidIQ. AI designed for those that have to create. Inspired by the creators that start working when others stop. Because their inspiration doesn't care for 9 to 5. Creators that push their ideas one step, even 3 steps beyond the obvious, and won't ever settle for anything less. Discover AI-generated ideas made for your channel only, the creator whose brain works like nobody else's. Newly refreshed every single day, because we know how much it hurts to get caught sleeping on a trend. And there's nothing sweeter than waking up to a view count you didn't dare dream of. So we made View Prediction. See all your opportunities ranked by their potential to get you more views. When your creativity and our algorithm work together, surprising things happen. And this is just the start. The power of artificial intelligence is in your hands, and we can't wait to see what you create. Daily ideas from vidIQ. AI-powered inspiration, inspired by you.
Two reasons why I played that. First of all, daily ideas. It is the new tool from vidIQ, and we think it's the best thing that we've ever created, and we want you to start using it on a regular basis. And the second reason, Dan's voice. Oh,
Yeah,
I got ASMR chills there. Oof.
Where is he?
Dan?
What is he
Dan,
doing?
I've given him a week off because he was hosting for the last 2 weeks. I thought he deserved a break.
Yeah.
And of course, with both of you two being at Vid Summit next week, we're going to be short-staffed. So I need Dan for next week.
Oh, that's true.
Anyway, we're into the second half, which can only mean one thing. That's right. We spend inordinate amounts of time creating amazing transition videos like that so that we can give you the random section of channel audits. Very basically, what's going to happen for the next hour-ish, a little under an hour, is we are going to use this free tool on the internet, which allows us to pick numbers. And this is going to pick numbers from the 2 forms that we have here. And we can see that there are around about 275 channel submissions so far in those 2 lists. So when I press this claw, it's going to pick one out.
That's right, guys. The claw.
The claw. Right. Yes, we would have included that in the video, but that's probably copyright. So that's
most likely.
Do that. So this is channel 130. So we go to our form. We type that number in. We have no idea what channel we're about to audit. So we are literally judging it on first impressions. And it looks a little like this. The Dennis Ball Show. All right, what do we have here, Travis? Because I'm a little intimidated to audit this.
Is this one of those like Muppet-y type shows? Dad jokes and interviews, music, artists, nerds. It's a lot of things.
Yeah, all the things.
Is it like a? I don't know. Is it a Muppet type thing?
Oh, sorry, I'm just sorting out my tabs at the top here. Let's just play one of the videos and see if it works.
Seems like it might be, huh?
Oh, the buffering is just
no. It's like that dog. Remember that little dog that would be on like a little dog?
Triumph insult.
Yeah, like that. I think that's what it is.
Really?
Yeah. But it's a tennis ball.
It's a tennis ball that does it?
Yeah, that's what it's called. The Dennis Ball Show.
I saw it there. I saw it right. Okay. So I think this maybe character is interviewing people, but my internet is just not going to let me find out any more information about that. Let's do the about section. So I assume Dennis Ball is a character.
Yep. Looks like that's what it is.
All right. So it's taken us maybe half a minute to a minute to work that out. Fair enough.
A little confusion. There was a little confusion there because we're just kind of not sure what's going on. Looks like they're doing a lot of jokes and looks like some comedy and stuff like that. Looks like they were doing some shorts as well, leaning on this Dennis Ball character.
Yeah.
Interesting. It's they're doing something different, so you got to give them credit for that. Let's see.
They've been doing this for around a long time, maybe the last year. But I suppose my question now is, who is the target audience here?
Yeah.
Is it for children, or because you say dad jokes, is it for an older demographic? How does Dennis Ball fit into music and artists and nerds? I'm not feeling a strong enough value proposition for a particular target audience, just on first impressions.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird because you almost get this almost like Muppets feel, but maybe for adults, and maybe that's what it is. But then you look at older content, and now you're, I don't know, like there's like Charlie Brown and stuff. So I'm unsure if they just recently shifted. And the problem is, if we're having a hard time figuring it out, someone who doesn't know who you are is going to not only have a hard time figuring it out, they're probably not going to bother because they don't know who you are. And the funny thing is, you could have the channel that they fall in love with forever, but they just don't even get to the point where they click because they're just not sure of what they're getting into.
So I'm seeing a selection of dad jokes, where I guess maybe a character is delivering dad jokes, and it looks at it as if it was at a cosplay event. But then also producing Radiohead's Creep. There seems to be a bit of a leap there in terms of potential audience, and then being Lester Crest in Grand Theft Auto. Again, another seemingly big leap into another genre and target audience. Channel focus, is that the broadest?
I think so.
Pain point.
Banner really explains that there isn't like a very specific one. Like there almost is one. The dad jokes could be enough. But then you're talking about like music artists, and then at that point I'm like, okay, but I just don't understand where or who the person is that's going to like enjoy all of this, or even the vast majority of the content. And they probably do exist, by the way. It's just that from the outside looking in, before I open the door to find out if I'm interested, I don't know that I want to open the door yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think you summed that up perfectly. Like us three. Approaching this channel for the very first time, and all of us still 3 or 4 minutes later are trying to actually answer a question. Well, who's this actually for? Yeah. Not being able to watch the videos is a bit of a problem, of course, but as you say, Travis, is this a door I really want to open just based on the thumbnails and what's presented to me in the pitch?
Yeah, and I might try one video. I don't know which one, but I guess you need to knock it out of the park, because I'd be going, okay, do I really want to watch this or not? And then it wouldn't take long for me to know one way or the other, if I would. Yeah. And then if I'm gone, I'm not coming back.
So that is the Dennis Ball show there.
I like the concept, though. The ball, I think that'd be really funny. Like there's something to that, I feel.
Yeah. We apologize if we've, if you're shouting at the screen, saying the channel's about this. All right, that's brilliant. But 3 of us were not able to really get a grasp of it in the time that we had. And as I said earlier, the goal of the channel or the video or whatever is to try and tell the viewer in as short a time as possible that they're in the right place. After 2 or 3 seconds, and we weren't able to get there in that time. This is a gaming channel that we're now auditing. It is True Codem, which I assume means Call of Duty Mobile, from the channel banner. But I start to look at the titles and the thumbnails, and I'm getting that Dank Meme vibe. If you don't know what that means, it's essentially when we're looking at a channel, it looks as if it does sort of comedy skits following trends and things, and goes in lots of different topics. They can be very successful, but again, we're as new visitors to the channel, I'm not really sure what to expect here.
Yeah, it makes your content look extremely random. I mean, for some people, that's what they want to do. I mean, some people basically, when you go into YouTube without a strategy, this kind of how it ends up looking, right? You kind of have almost like a repository for whatever video you feel like making. Yeah. And one thing I'll tell you is like, yeah, you do want to be consistent and get consistent uploads on your channel, but you also want consistency of message. So you want to be going after the same target audience. So if that's Call of Duty mobile gamers, go after them. But if you want to do memes, then do memes. But really, we really need you to kind of focus on what it is exactly that you want to do, and sort of figure that out. And if you want to do memes, then I would strongly recommend changing the channel name and the banner.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the titles and the about section, and it looks as if what they're doing is uploading popular memes. so that they're available to download for people off of YouTube. There's a couple of red flags there in the sense that I guess a meme is available to the public anyway, so there's nothing necessarily wrong with that. But strictly speaking, it's against terms of service for people to download YouTube videos.
Yep.
So for you to encourage people to do that, you're probably on thin ice there.
Especially when it's copyrighted material, like Jonah laughing. That's a clip from a Spider-Man movie. So that's Sony's copyright right there. So just, you know, they're not free. Just because you pulled them from somewhere else or you see other people using them doesn't make it okay.
They're like 3 seconds long, so they're really short ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they literally are the memes. You know, it could be something from Giphy that they've just sort of reused here. I guess, sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say, ultimately, this is not original content.
Right.
So what are you making that's going to make you unique? And what's your unique value proposition on YouTube? Because tens of thousands of people could do exactly the same thing as you. And so where are you going to be in terms of perhaps turning this into community, building a business out of it, and so on? Sorry, Travis, did you want to chime in?
I just had a momentary flash of realization when I just thought that did something next week, how many times I'm going to be answering, well, where's Rob? I'm thinking maybe we do some type of like,
sure.
How many? Well, first of all, yeah, like Rob's not here, but maybe
every shirt should say that
Rob's not here. Or maybe we do like if 100 people say ask for Rob, maybe you do something. I don't know. We should figure that out.
Or maybe I should record a quick video. Just
I was literally thinking the same thing.
Oh, dude, play it on the wall. Yeah,
I'm not here. Yeah. I swear.
Yeah,
we should be able to trigger it.
I do apologize, but VidSummit decided to organize their conference after my wedding.
Yeah,
and the two do not work together.
That's true.
Anyway, where were we? I think we were going to pick another channel to audit here. Let's pick a non-gaming channel, and this is going to be 263. 263. All right, then we are now looking at. Hang on, that's not a valid number. What am I looking at here? 263. Oh, right, I get it. We'll have to do 252. Oh, come on, this can't be. My phone can't have crashed.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no, we're okay. Oh my
gosh.
Right, influential, financial. Let's take a look at this channel.
Oh yeah, that's our guy, isn't it?
Yeah, we've talked to this guy.
Yeah, this is our dude. Yeah, this is our guy right here.
Yeah.
Now, what do you mean by you talked to this guy? You talked to him.
Wait, didn't we do it? How do we know this guy?
Well, we've checked this channel, and we've definitely checked this channel. He's a longtime member of the vidIQ community as well.
It certainly is. Yeah, I do remember his name.
And I'm like 90% sure somebody's had either a call with him. I'm not 100. It wasn't me, but I'm pretty sure somebody had a call with him. But either way, you know, he's been doing some good stuff. He's definitely somebody who is consistent and who has been doing experimentation on their channel to see what kind of thumbnails work. So he is on the grind, man. And I like seeing that he's always working and always trying new things. So
I might have been.
Well, I guess let's talk about this then. They've decided to go like very text rich and heavy, at least for an experimentation of 5 to 10 videos. Whereas before they felt like it was more of a traditional look of the YouTuber reaction, maybe 2 or 3 words. And I'm drawn to that thumbnail. I think it looks fantastic, the fire and ice one. But yeah, it feels as if there's a bit of thumbnail regression, just personally speaking. But again, is this just testing?
It looks like they're just testing some stuff because there's a bunch of them where, those are the shorts. The shorts don't have his face on them, which is interesting.
Good point. Yeah, that's
interesting because I was like, well, maybe they're doing no face, but looks like that's only on the shorts because the full length video still has them in there. Interesting though. I like what he's like the game sort of the gamification of it, trying different things.
I'm starting by most popular here. Again, I don't think I've audited this channel before, so I'm looking at a channel that's talking about influential finance. What does that mean? Is that investing in stocks? Is it, paying off debt, cryptocurrency, etc., etc., etc.? There are many funnels or silos that you could go into in terms of a financial channel. Is there a particular type of topic within finance that has been more successful for the channel? I'm not seeing that yet, other than the complete beginner's guide there to investing in stocks. There's a bit more stocks talk there, but we've also got paying off debt, crypto, paying off debt.
Let's
So
do
there's
a sort by
couple of
most
topics.
popular.
That's it. This is it.
Oh,
This
okay.
is
I
the most
wasn't sure if that
popular.
was. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. All right, interesting. All right. Let's see. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I like what I'm seeing though. I like what they're doing. I like the direction that they're going in. They're definitely aiming at a particular person, but this could also be a case of finding more laser focus as well. Where if you see that there's a specific topic that really hits, that you could make a bunch of videos surrounding that topic, whether it's just diving a little deeper into the details of that, what we call a niche within a niche. That's something that you can always do, as opposed to general finance. Is it about people improving their credit? Is it about savings? Is it about investing? Is it about crypto? So you'll notice that there's instead of talking about everything, you start really focusing on a specific topic. That could be something that helps, because just like myself, back in the days, I was doing general tech videos about all kinds of stuff. And then I started doing it about headphones and earbuds and speakers. And then I niched it even further into very much so specifically earbuds, and just really kind of targeting a very specific person in order to grow the channel. But that's something just kind of think about.
You would like to think after 12 months of content and I'd say 50 videos that there is enough data in terms of traffic sources and audience retention and click-through rate to suggest that your content should go in one of these directions, Jeff, that you were just mentioning, to the niche within the niche. So maybe spending just an afternoon now really diving deep into the analytics. Maybe vidIQ's daily ideas may be suggesting one type of financial topic more than the other. So that might be another helpful influence to you. I'll leave a final words to Travis if he has any. If not, we'll go back to the claw.
I think we should go back to the claw, but before we do, it's interesting that we see some crypto stuff here, and the people who are looking for crypto are not necessarily people who are looking for a savings account, or not necessarily the same people
Right.
Roth, who are not necessarily
Good
looking
point.
to go to charity. So those are they're all finance, but the people who watch those videos are slightly different.
Very good point. Very different target audiences, aren't they? In that sense. So yeah, that's a really good way to finish off that audit. So let's now go to a gaming channel, and this will be channel 232. This is a channel name that I do not think I'm going to remember in an hour's time, because they are called Z-Rain Vegeta Blue YT.
Oh my goodness.
I would say there's just a bit too many syllables there.
Yeah.
My recommendation recently in the video that I made was try and keep your channel name 5 syllables or less. Generally speaking, the shorter the channel name, the more easy it is to remember.
My channel name is 5 syllables.
El Jefe Reviews. There we go. Travis MCP. There we go.
El Jelly Reviews.
All right then. What do we have here? I'm seeing anime. Certainly.
Is it a
I think
anime
it's a game.
Dank Anime. It's Dank Anime. It's a new thing that we found here, created on vidIQ.
Interesting. Influential Finance says that he has 9K total views on his channel, but YouTube still doesn't give him all the analytics. Still says not enough data in some of his analytics. That's the worst, man.
Yeah, you'll get there. Keep at it. Yeah, it's hard to tell with this because some of these don't look the same as others. So that little that frog looking guy, if you compare him to the more anime-ish type Japanese looking style anime to the right of him, are they the same viewer even who would watch that? I don't know. I'm kind of confused. And then some of these are almost like a joke of some looks Robloxy. I'm really confused what's going on here.
Yeah.
I'm old though.
And then a lot of these, the frog thing is redeem codes, spin codes, redeem codes. So
let's go to the about section.
Yeah. Maybe that'll give us a little
Shindu Life, and play a lot of Roblox games.
Oh, all right.
Is Shindu Life one of the Roblox mods?
Possibly.
I don't know.
Possible.
I tell you what, the thumbnails don't really tell me much in most cases. Yeah, we have these redeem codes, but all of the other ones tend to be just. I wouldn't necessarily describe them as loading screens on an anime video game, but they're almost at that point. I'm pretty sure it's a video game. Okay, that looks like Roblox.
Yeah, it sure does seem that way.
So I think, in summary, what we're going to say here is maybe that the pitch, the messaging of the thumbnails and the titles is not strong enough in most cases. We can't really tell what these videos are about, generally speaking. Some of them seem to be like Code Redemption, but then Smells Like Drill Spirit Fire Force. You see, I don't know if that's like just a clip from an anime or a specific part of a video game that you're trying to demonstrate to us. And when I mouse over it, is that original content? Is that copyright content? Is that a transformational?
Right.
All sorts of curious questions in my head.
Lots of questions popping into my head right now. Yeah, I don't know. It's like at the end of the day, it always comes down to the same thing. I tell people when I do coaching, I tell people when I do an audit, whatever, who is your viewer? And is it for people to get new codes, or is it people to watch anime? And then if it's people watching anime, can they really watch it on your channel? Is that something that you're allowed to do? And more questions. And it's just like a highlight.
First 10 seconds, this just looks like some anime stuff that's going on. Although I go a little further in, that's definitely a video game.
Is he trying to recreate those scenes in a video game?
Yeah. Not sure. We'll have to move on though and see if we can find a channel that we can work out what the content is about. Apologies sometimes if our first impressions are not good enough. It's just a reflection of the average viewer visiting your content and not really getting the idea. Whereas this one, Demo Drives, this is a car review channel, almost certainly, just from what I'm seeing here. So I know I'm probably in the right place in terms of if I have an interest in cars. Thinking about what Travis said earlier, is there a particular target audience here? Is it sports cars? Is it SUVs for families? I'm getting that sporty vibe here because I'm seeing, the brake horsepower on some of these. And, we talked about channels reviewing different games and maybe not hitting it every single time. It looks as if this channel, even though they're reviewing lots of different cars, has a very healthy community that's watching their content.
Yeah. And here's the thing, too, that also helps is that there's no confusion in the messaging, right? We know what you're getting. Like, there's no confusion. He's reviewing cars, or they are reviewing cars. So there's no confusion. That's something that definitely helps. So to kind of give people an idea of what they're going to get from you, whether it's in the channel banner, whether you make it extremely clear in the about section, and then you actually follow that. You actually do the thing that you say you're doing. That definitely helps. But yeah, no, I agree. And even here, it looks like the reviews do a lot better, because if you see the one of the Goodwood Festival, which is an awesome thing, people should check that out if you're into cars. That one didn't perform as well because it's not an actual car review. It's just a coverage of a show. So, which is interesting. I mean, because they're getting normally anywhere from 500 to a couple thousand views on a video. But that one just underperformed, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah. There's also some interesting titling ideas up here as well. Like, what happens if? I love it when you try and plant a question in the viewer's head and then maybe a fear of missing out if you don't click on it and find out. What happens if you don't charge an electric car? That's an interesting concept. And thumbnails look fairly solid. I think there's some branding going on here, just of the name of a car or maybe an important aspect of a car. That seems all fine to me. Every thumbnail, if you see it on a homepage, exactly, within a second that it's a Demo Drives video if you're keen with the community. So lots of positive stuff here. Travis, anything you could add here, or do you think we covered it pretty well?
Thumbnails, yeah, the thumbnails are really good. I love the first person perspective driving thing. Also, really good if you look at the views for it on the one from a month ago. Did really good. Is it just he's just driving different types of cars, or like how does he get access to them? Does he work at a dealership?
It's a brilliant question. Yeah.
I used to love
Yeah,
those kinds
really
of
good.
videos, to be honest. Like people who would put on like a GoPro and they would drive like a highly modified vehicle or something that's exotic, like a Lambo or Ferrari. Something I used to love watching those videos, especially when they used good like binaural microphone recording, so you can really hear the road and you can hear the engine revving and everything. So that stuff was pretty good, but that's a whole different genre. That's almost on the ASMR border of automotive.
Yeah.
So, but it's an interesting take because that first person view thumbnail is what they would use. Like, let's take my Ferrari out for a drive on the coast, like stuff like that.
Yeah, for this, like some of these look higher end, but when right before I bought my car recently, I was looking at YouTube videos on reviews of like the drives and stuff, and this is kind of the thumbnail style. But there was one guy, I guess he just, man, YouTube's powerful. He just was able to work a deal with the dealership to just always take these cars out for test drives and videotape them. Of course, it's good for the dealership too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and then sometimes there are people who worked at the dealership that put up the videos.
Yeah.
And the thumbnails were like this, and they would get lots of views, especially when a new car came out. Do that right away if you can.
Yeah, there was a guy who I had spoken with who was doing this with Dodge, and he ended up partnering with the dealer that he got his car from, and to basically have access to the cars on the lot where he could pop the hood and talk about the different things. And then they would even go as far as to moving the cars for him to an area that was like away from the rest of the other cars. So if he wanted to do a versus, like here's a Challenger V6 versus a Challenger V8, or here's a SRT versus a Hellcat, or stuff like that, right? Or here's a regular Jeep versus, whatever. He would put them against each other, but they gave him full access to it, which was really cool. And he wasn't an employee of theirs. But could you imagine the traffic that he's probably driving towards that dealer or even their website? So,
the power of YouTube is crazy, because if you really, like if you have a YouTube channel, especially if you have any kind of following, and, for example, if you're doing a car YouTube channel, you literally can go to a dealership and say, look, I have a YouTube channel, maybe you have 1,000, 2,000 subscribers. And I say, I would love to do a test drive. I know normally you're going to do this for someone who's going to buy it, but literally if that video gets one view and that person comes and buys the car, is more than worth it for the dealership to have done it. Yeah. So you don't even need high conversion numbers for it to be worth it for a local business to say yes. And you'd be surprised at what local businesses will say yes to if you need access to certain things, especially if you have a YouTube channel.
Now, as you two have been chatting away there, I was just trying to maybe identify the target audience here. And what it seems to be is that the videos that get more views are those of reviews of performance cars, but not necessarily hyper cars. For example, I'm assuming a Porsche Cayman is pretty expensive. So maybe that's out of the average viewer's price range. Whereas when you look at an SUV or something that's I'm guessing like the tens of thousands of dollars range. Right. But whereas you review a classic car, which is probably inaccessible to most viewers, or they're not interested in classic cars, these two videos about the Austin Healey seem to have tanked a little bit. So again, maybe just refining the target audience a little bit and removing those videos that don't necessarily perform well for your intended audience. Yeah. So trim the fat a little bit.
That makes a lot of sense, because I've seen an automotive channel that went from reviewing all vehicles to where they only now review pickup trucks. So, and because that was the videos, like if they did a F-150, they got so much more views versus their videos on, like, let's say a Ford Mustang, which is also popular. So he really started looking at who was my target audience. His target audience were obviously truck buyers, people that were looking for a Dodge Ram, a Silverado, Nissan Titan, whatever it might be. So he really got into just doing pickup trucks and even SUVs and stuff as well. And that ended up going really well for them. They got completely away from cars, completely away from minivans, and just specifically pickup trucks, and doing exceptionally well that way.
If I was to pick maybe one type of car, it feels like the SUV. That feels as where this is their channel's biggest superpower. But again, first impressions, I could be wrong there. But an interesting channel there, Demo Drives. Let's move on to another gaming channel while we have time left. It's going to be 2:19. Let's see if we can have a gaming channel that we know something a little bit about. Hades is the next channel.
You're going to Hades.
They are.
Isn't that a bad thing? Isn't that the opposite of heaven?
Vague gamer.
Yeah, I was like, wait, what? What is?
What is going on here? Rob, we've gone dark.
Sorry, what?
Wait, isn't Hades like the opposite of heaven? Isn't it like bad place to go?
Sure. Maybe they're a big fan of God of War.
Oh.
Or maybe not.
Fortnite, though.
Looks like Fortnite, doesn't it? Yeah. Or is
is
it Fortnite? I'm not sure. No, it's Call of Duty Mobile.
Oh, yeah, huh?
But it shows, for some reason, my magnifying glass extension isn't working. But you see all of these new meta labels? They're very much of the Fortnite style, aren't they?
There's a lot of things that make it feel Fortnite-y, which is probably not what you want. I mean, obviously, we're not like super into it, so maybe for people who are playing COD mobile, they don't feel that way. But you know, you also have to think of the people that aren't into it that might be interested if they watch the video. Instead, they go, "Oh, it's another Fortnite video. I don't want to watch it." There's a lot of people who don't even know that Call of Duty has a mobile game, and the graphics are really good. Like it's actually pretty intensively good. So yeah, I think it's just that.
Nothing in the about section. Let's sort by most popular. All right. So from the most popular videos, some of them are shorts. What I'm seeing here is listicle style stuff, which is always going to do well, or focusing on best skins. That seems to be another strength of the channel. And maybe also focusing on particular items. But I think we would all agree that probably thumbnails is where they need to improve their content a little bit here.
Yeah.
It just feels like a lack of punch. Like if I just show all of these thumbnails now, some of them are so busy, or the text is so small, or the thumbnail is so flat that nothing is really jumping out here when I look at them.
Yeah, and I'm unsure, like, what's the value proposition above anything else that I would watch? Like, what am I getting? So it says new Season Pass 8 Battle Pass trailer, but I assume the trailer's somewhere else.
Yeah.
I don't need a trailer. What I need is some tips or tricks or cool highlights or something like that. Like, I don't need a trailer. That's probably somewhere else.
Or even expert opinion on it, if they happen to be an expert. Like, excuse me. So put it like this. On Sunday, I did a video about these new Sennheiser earbuds that are currently unreleased. Even though I don't have them here, people still wanted to hear me talk about them, give them my thoughts. So now imagine that I was not talking about earbuds, that I was talking about video games that were coming out. So let's say, because Sony had their event and they showed off all the new games and all that stuff, what would I do? I would make a video about each and every one of those small trailers. I wouldn't just be re-uploading the trailer for you to watch it, because anybody could come to your channel, to their channel, to go find that, IGN or whoever. But for me, people are going to want to know what I think about it. And that's why channels like Emergency Awesome are absolutely massive on YouTube, because they're giving you a breakdown. They're finding all the Easter eggs. They're making sense of what this means. And they can turn a 30-second trailer into a 14-minute video. So this is what I think what Travis is kind of getting at, is that you got to give us something more.
Jogo is the next channel we're looking at here. Motorcycle Adventures. It seems as if we're on an automotive theme a little bit here. 81 subscribers. This channel looks to me as if it is about extreme, chaotic things that happen, one on a bike, or biking travels and tours. The view counts seem very, very positive considering the subscriber count, like 80 subscribers. Everything's well over subscriber count, hundreds of views per video, which is very encouraging.
Crazy. 3 days ago, 500 views with only 80 subscribers. I don't know how you did that.
Yeah.
Maybe it's maybe YouTube caught it up and figured out the people to play it to. Maybe you've embedded it on a like a forum somewhere.
And 7 comments. That seems to suggest that there may be 7 comments and 12 likes on a 500 review video.
External.
Suggests that it's Facebook's likes. There might be some
there you go.
external sharing going on there.
Smart play.
So that's not necessarily a bad thing, is it? In the sense that you're finding communities outside of YouTube. I guess the problem and the worry is that you almost become dependent on that community for your audience.
Right.
Where ideally you want YouTube to be doing the discovery and the promotion for you. So that, but you know, what do we say there? We're not going to tell the creators to cut the cord from their Facebook group where they're pushing this content. But they need to find ways to get these people off of the Facebook group and subscribing to the channel directly so that they're getting these recommendations within YouTube.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, I look at these and I go, okay, my POV of Robert Simmons. Who's Robert Simmons? Paying it forward, follow. Now, at first, now is that someone from Facebook? And that's why, you know, it did pretty well because they know how to click that. The what the heck man I like from the thumbnail. The red text above that has got to go. And I love the arrow. Like, what the heck man? Like, what's going on? I almost have to click to find out. And my POV of Robert, the rest of it is like, if the title was snappier, something catchier, the what the heck man is there with the arrow, get rid of the red text. This one might, I mean, it's only a week old, so you can still do all this, by the way, and still maybe make a change in it. People will click just out of curiosity's sake, like what's going on, but what's the title? Because what's the point of the video? Did he crash? Did he spend money? Like what? I'm curious as to what it is, but I need a little bit tighter titling and just a little tweak on the thumbnail.
Yep.
It's good otherwise.
Cool. Anything else, gentlemen, or shall we move on to the next one?
Motorcycling.
Move on to the next one. We'll pick another gaming channel. And this channel is going to be called, or they are called, we're not deciding what they're going to be called. They are called, unfortunately, Giselle Locum Studios.
All right.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
I guess.
Reveal. He's going to reveal his hand?
Oh, click on this.
I need to see this.
Oh. What?
He has 0 likes. And it was, what, a day ago? So he didn't get his 10 likes in an hour. No hand reveal.
I'm curious what it's got to do.
I don't know what to post, so give me suggestions, which is a 7-second video. Just all.
Should I make music? iPhone event 13 release. Okay, I have no idea what this channel's about.
No, I think the issue is not so much that we don't know. I think that they also don't know.
That's the problem.
And that's an issue because it looks like they wanted to do Minecraft, and it looks like they probably were doing Minecraft. That's in the description, or sorry, in the banner and stuff. So maybe that's what they need to really start diving into a little bit harder, because they've got a
bunch of shorts, is what it was. That's
that too, which is weird. So not sure what they're trying to go for here, but I would really start figuring out who you're trying to target as your audience and start making videos for those people.
Yep.
Huh. Trying to connect an AirPods to an iPhone 3GS.
That's kind of a fun little idea.
That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, they've got a few iPhone 3GS shorts here. Very nostalgic. Some of your most popular videos. That's certainly a thread or a theme or a trend, a thread that was doing well. But then there's Minecraft stuff. vidIQ is telling me to go vegan.
What? Watch that. It's 5 seconds.
So, now here's the interesting thing. Actually, this is probably good point, actually, because some people, when they use the Daily Ideas tool, they say that they get really weird suggestions.
Yeah.
Well, you want to know why that is. It's because this channel, for example, is making videos about the Apple iPhone event, Minecraft. They're also talking about vegan teachers. You know, maybe that's why the suggestion came in. They got a mention on the vidIQ channel audits. We already audited them. Did you do this last week?
Well, watch that. It's like it's 30 seconds.
Maybe we you got a shout out. Or maybe they've just been audited twice in 2 weeks. And we still don't know what the channel's about. I don't know.
They win.
I think we should move on. All right, 10 minutes left. Let's see what else we can pick out here. We're going to go for channel 152, and they are called Wavy Mel.
Crazy is what they're called, because they're in here doing all this on the same channel 2 weeks in a row. is ridiculous, is what it is.
Hey, Savage, how's it going?
Man, I don't know.
All right, good stuff. Good
Tell
stuff.
you, I don't know.
Jeff, shall we try and look at Wavy Mel here?
Wavy Mel. Let's see here. Okay. So my guess is doesn't look like okay, so maybe they're doing like man on the street interviews, possibly pranks. So like yeah, it's because I see what's the freakiest thing and where would you take a guy, how long should a guy, yeah, so they're also approaching some pretty racy topics, I would say.
Yep.
So you do want to be
Yep.
careful because you are going to be butting up against restriction, so just be very, very careful about those topics. But overall, they look like that's what they're doing. It almost reminds me of a couples pranks challenge type channel.
Yeah, I got that vibe.
Yeah, so that's sort of what it's reminding me of, but it almost doesn't seem like they're too sure. No, they're doing a lot of man on the street. Yeah, because you could see like in the first 3 videos, 2 of those first 3 were kind of the man on the street interview stuff.
How many subscribers have I got? 150. I think so. They're building up a community here. The view counts are very good.
Mhm.
I agree with you, Jeff. In that I certainly saw one title that may end up getting the video restricted, and what that basically means is that it's only going to be shown to people over the age of 18, and it could severely limit the recommendations. But if that is your intent and that's specifically what you want to do, then you have our blessing as a fellow content creator, but just be aware of how that may impact the overall discoverability of your content. Thumbnails look okay. I mean, we've got a lot of red text on some of these, which I don't think some of this I think is repeating the text in the thumbnail. And I think the thumbnail could do a much better job of telling a story, creating intrigue, and that sort of thing. Anything else?
Is this a dating advice channel? I'm trying to figure it out, but my eyes are bad. I can't read it.
Let's see. No details there, unfortunately.
I thought it was something about hair at first.
Yeah.
Oh, Wavy Mel. Oh, it's Mel. I thought it was me. It's Mel. What's going on, Mel?
Anything else we can see here, Jeff? Are we good to move on, maybe?
No, I think that's the only thing I would say. Is just they probably want to be careful how close they get to the racy titles. But aside from that, I would lean into this man on the street thing because it seems like that's what's working well for them. So yeah, I mean, I would say just keep going.
Savage, how's it going? Long time no see.
It's been a minute. I took some time off. I went to Savage Academy and cleaned up some stuff, threw out some old chairs and stuff, and then I went to Savageville and had a nice little vacation there out in the sun. As the summer is over now, we've been canceled altogether. The summer's canceled. We into this, whatever this is, whatever this time of year is.
Well, the good news is in your absence, you've got a lot of students. But to make sure that we maybe pick some of the students from this week, let's go from maybe 65 onwards.
All right.
Of these students. Which number do you want to pick?
What number? What does it go up to? 60 goes up.
Let's go 60 between 65 and 78.
Let's go 77.
77. Oh, that's a bit of a tease.
Maybe that last person.
All right. So just a reminder, folks, they've just given us their email. Right. Well, we can't do that.
I got 78 then, I guess.
Right. Okay. Let me just fix that again. What am I doing here? I'm pressing buttons and getting in all the wrong places.
Surprise.
Yeah, please don't share your emails. We can't really use emails to find your channel.
Well, now I got your email list. Expect all the spam in the world from me. That's how I use it.
All right.
Is that regular spam or
spam?
I ship it over email.
All right. So just before we go into this, right?
What?
This is an alternative audit. If you submit to the Savage Audit Academy, then nothing that we suggest from vidIQ's point of view is necessarily advice that you should take. With all of that being said, Savage, how are you going to approach this one?
I think I'm about to get canceled right now. I think that's what's going to happen. First of all, that baby looks like mine. That's my baby right there. How'd you get my baby and put it on a YouTube channel for somebody? You done stole my baby. What in the world? The six signs of heck is going on here? What? I'm calling the police. That's my baby right there. Look how cute that baby is. That baby is international superstar.
Shall we just move on before we get in any more trouble?
Before we get canceled, let's go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, were they sure they were submitting to the right channel?
How'd that happen? Let's go to 69. Go
69 is the next channel. Okay. Oh, hello. Oh, this is one that you can, I think,
What is
savage.
I missed it.
We tried our best earlier on, Jeff. Oh, I forgot. Hang on.
Oh, motherhood fingerprint. Let me go ahead and. Oh, that's not the same one.
No. It's just me not copying and pasting properly.
Copy and paste the foil of Rob all the time.
So yes, Travis, Jeff, and myself tried this one earlier on as a genuine audit.
Dennis Ball. Come on, man. Are you serious right here? Is this a serious thing? Can you imagine the nightmares this channel gives to 7-year-olds? They come on here and think, "Oh, little tennis ball talk," and they go in there and they see this dragon type dude walking around asking questions to people, and this is the type of thing that'll make you throw up as a kid. And look at this, I remember Charlie Brown. That was a good, wholesome show. And then you got a tennis ball with 2 big eyeballs on the top of it, making you feel like it's one of them bugs. You ever seen them bugs with the really big eyes? And you want to squash them, but you're kind of afraid to step on them because they might squish out. You know what the worst thing about those is when you step on them, you think you kill them and they're still alive. Ooh. That's the worst, man. I can't stand that. Or when you step on them and they go, and you know you just crunched them. Oh, it makes me want to throw up just thinking about it. Oh my God, that's the wrong type of ASMR right there. That's an insect ASMR. That's terrible. Okay. Anyway, I want to step on this guy's face and go just like that. Get rid of this channel. No, we can go on to the next one if we want to. Let me go ahead.
Too much material.
That's the best savage audit ever. Let's go. Let's audit a normal channel. I think.
Oh, okay. A normal channel. Oh, okay.
Yeah, a normal channel. Jeff and I'll take this one, savage. Thank you very much.
Right,
1, 3. Right. We are going to audit a channel called Milo the Angry Dog. This is going to be an intriguing one. I don't like a dog to be angry. I hope a dog is happy. 13 subscribers, mostly shorts. And it looks as if you're just doing some shorts of your dog having fun times. Hopefully it's not angry all of the time, though.
What's wrong with the dog?
Is that the savage cat?
Yeah, that's what my savage cat looks like.
Look, the dog looks very happy there.
Oh, he does. Look real good. Yeah. That's what I look like when I take a shower. I'm just like that, and my eyes go back in my head and go, yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So feeding the Milo the Angry Dog. Okay, Milo the Angry Dog. Dog funny videos. Loves to get a massage. Yeah, I mean, this stuff could work really well. I mean, we've seen, cat channels do well with shorts and pet channels, and people love animals.
I'm still upset my baby is on a YouTube channel I don't know nothing about. How is that?
Yeah. We'll let you sort that out afterwards, Savage.
Oh, sorry.
So yeah, I mean, they've only been on YouTube for a week for one thing, and they're certainly focusing on shorts, which is great to see. And yeah, I just hope that the things that Milo is happy to be recorded, and hopefully Milo isn't being misrepresented here as an angry dog.
It seems quite happy, to be honest.
Yeah, I think really this is just setting out a plan of 100 shorts that you can do with Milo the Dog, doing fun and entertaining things, and hopefully you're going to build up a community surrounding that. We just hope your dog is very happy as opposed to being very, very angry. And with that, I think we're going to call this live stream a finished one. Thank you, everybody, as always, for joining us. We hope with the 20 to 30 channels that we've audited this week, you've learned something, whether it be about channel focus, about thumbnails, especially about lighting and composition, and making sure that you're shooting at the right angle. Thank you for Ben and Michaela for that guidance in the first hour. In the second hour, we had Travis for a little while, followed by Savage here. Have you got any final parting words, Savage, as we say goodbye?
Yeah, I just ordered Little Caesars for delivery. I'm not expecting much, but I'm hungry as heck, so I only can't wait till it gets here. Let's say goodbye to some people.
Yeah, sure. If you want to say goodbye.
I really can't see through these sunglasses. I wish we had that zoom filter on there. Okay. All right, you just got here, Moonbeam. Well, too bad. You got to go. We got Value. Value says bye. Bye, Value. Yeah, goodbye to Value. What else we got here? We got Scorpio TV. Bye. I'm a Capricorn, though, to be honest. Moonbeam says butt chow. All right, there you go. Butt chow. Have you had butt chow before?
Nope.
All right. Dad Skills says goodbye. All right, Dad Skills. And Skittles or Skittiz. But come on, man. Make your name something that I know what it is. I'm over here at the Skittles and it's Skitties. What is Skitties anyway? Is that
Jeff,
the Dollar Tree version of Skittles?
Savage, shut up.
Have you
Jeff,
ever
it's your turn.
Skittles before? They terrible, man.
Shut up.
Oh, all right.
Savage. No, not Savage. Jeff. Jelly.
Oh,
Somebody.
Jelly, say bye to Thunderstorm X. Say bye to Mr. Chris Hardwick. Who else we got? Gummy Bear FF. And let's see who else. ASMR Panda. Goodbye to you. And Farron 132. Goodbye to you too.
I'm going to say goodbye to the following people who may already have been mentioned. Those include Memory YT, Alberts and Nilsons, also LXVYFVI. How would you pronounce that, Savage?
Which one?
Looks Liveri?
Well, pull it up. Where is it? Let me see.
It's here. It's here. Can you not see it? What are you doing, Savage?
A big for
all right. Yeah, all right. And goodbye to Cogsor. And last but not least, we're going to say goodbye to RJW's Music. As always, thank you for joining us this week on the Tuesday Channel Audit live stream. We will be back tomorrow for our Wednesday Q&A. Don't forget to check out the Daily Ideas tool from vidIQ, which you can download and start using for free right now. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of your video making day.